All right, greetings, greetings. Welcome back to the channel, Gods and Goddesses in Training. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. We got Ryan G over here. Today,
Yep.
we're talking in our podcast about a very interesting topic around Neptune,
hmm
because apparently Neptune moves into Aries now, and
hmm
the energy is very potent. It's like when this happens, there's always like spiritual warriors. They come out of the mix, or
hmm
uh, making identity like a chosen mission and like going forward into leadership and things like this. But it also brings up fanaticism, messianic delusions, I am the savior archetype inflations. So we're going to see a lot more of that, the people saying, how in the spiritual community, everyone thinks they're the chosen one. Like
hmm
that's going to become more common. We're going to see it in social media too. Spirituality becomes aggressive in 2026. It becomes more, not so aggressive, but it becomes very sharp and strong, right? There's no room for the new age fluff anymore, I feel
hmm
like. And that dreamy Pisces, energy is over now. Our imagination needs like armor to function. So yeah, we were originally going to speak about fantasy versus
hmm
visualization. But then we thought of this topic as it's more broad and it can impact a lot more people. So we thought, yo, let's just give them the value that they deserve. So, what's coming up for you, Ryan, on in terms of this topic?
Hmm. A combination of things. Neptune, Poseidon, etc.
Hmm.
Tends to be the god of horses, right? We happen
Yeah.
to be in a horse here, fire horse. So water energy in a fire elemental year. I can only assume that when you cook water, it boils. So this
Mm,
year, all of us are in a boiling pot. Not a
yeah.
hot pot, a boiling pot. So anything you can do to get ahead in life, especially if it's illegal, um, get it done. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, Ellie,
Oh, AWE and hey,
fire
Mathis.
and water equals steam and smoke. I like that,
All
Mathis.
right.
That's cool. Who
And
wants smoke?
exactly. So you're out there to get your smoke. So, hmm, I believe I made a meme about that like a while back. When you're tired of breath work, but you want some smoke,
When you still
you
want
know?
some smoke?
But you
Yeah,
still want some
yeah.
smoke. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one. But the
that
point I'm
was.
trying to make is everything you're doing in your practices right now is likely going to have to be more aggressive, more towards the point, less
Yeah.
fluff, more towards, you already know your routines or the things that you need to do to go from A to B. We don't have to tell you that. We're just here to remind you that big dogs and doggesses, the
Hmm.
word I can't use here. Um, Step up. Now's the time. I mean, even
Hmm.
on my end, just before this podcast started, Sumit and I were talking about the fantasy versus the embodiment, the fantasy versus the visualization. What is that against Sumit?
Yeah, so I was saying that fantasy kind of future projects it, like I
hmm
will have this reality later, right?
Yeah.
Whereas visualization says that reality is entering me now. And so one is more active and physical, and the other one is just an imagery it's kind of like a vague billboard or like an imagery that's just static. There's no movement dynamism in the visualization. You're not like walking the beach, touching the door, holding the keys, sitting in the chair. You're just like, oh, beach mansion, beach mansion. No, bro, it's not just gonna work like that. Okay? So, yeah, embodiment and bringing the future into the now, I think was the real theme there, right? Not
hmm
chasing reality, but embodying reality.
All right. The
Yeah.
future is now. So then, if the
Right
future
on.
is now, wouldn't that also mean that even if you're not experiencing, let's say having a current girlfriend or etc., you're just gonna live it as if it's already
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Now, I'm
Exactly.
not saying go crazy and let's say make an AI girlfriend or
Yeah. Don't
that's
go
that's that's
Delulu on us, please.
that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
What we're actually saying is instead of merely visualizing, or making, let's say, a visualization board. How about we make it a little bit more business-esque, like a decision board. Like per quarter, I have a goal to
Mm,
reach. If I
action word.
reverse engineer is
Yeah.
action board, right?
Yeah. That's
And instead
awesome.
of merely visualization, you're gonna take the visualization from, let's see, I need to put it from here, from left, right now here, left, and then shift to the other side
Mm,
where we're starting, right? And then
yeah.
if we're starting from here, and here's where we need to end up in, if I reverse engineer it, where are things going to break and what do I need to study, et cetera, to get in a
Yeah.
position of power, position of love,
Right.
etc. So it's
Right.
almost the whole idea of shifting left. I'm bringing all that potential
Mm,
to the current potent.
yeah. Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, I think like honestly, fantasy is like just a pretty movie in your head, whereas the vision is your identity fused with this kind of normalization or inevitability, like it's bound to happen. What do you mean? Right? Like
mm,
that level of congruence and certainty, I think, really works alongside, I think, faith, but we need faith to be that solar young masculine faith that we move with, not
mhm.
the fictional faith of just like watching something happen and just being the witness and not taking any action on it,
Right.
right?
There's a difference between being a passive observer and an active observer.
Yeah.
Passive observer, which would mean, I'm merely observing in that setting. An active observer would be I am in the bushes hunting, observing my prey, waiting for the right moment to strike, the right moment to take action. One moment I'm tracking,
Yeah.
the other moment I am hiding, being away from where these animals can smell me, and the moment I can executing what needs to be executed so I can enjoy up its fruits.
Right. This energy is kind of like the dreamer that does kind of energy, right? Like,
Right.
because Neptune is a dreamer energy. It's like transcendence and, fantasy and all of these things that kind of elate you and make you feel special. And it
True,
makes you feel good.
true. But the thing is, you can't cook in cold water. Last I check, you can't
Mm.
cook it. You can cook with steam. You can cook when when the water is boiling. You can maybe, freeze
Let
something,
him cook.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
but it's it's not only now to which extent can you handle the heat. It's what you do with it. Are you going to use this
Yeah.
heat to improve your life, in essence? Because isn't it funny that your best stretching happens when you warm up? My best rolls happen when I'm warmed up, right?
Hmm.
But the
Yeah.
opposite side can also be true because if I overheat, that means I've undercooled,
Mm.
right? That's
Called
why
a
after
warm up, yeah.
training, it's a
And a
warming up,
warm
but it's
down.
also called, well, cooling down. Cooling down.
Cooling down.
So what would that be in the spiritual sense, mate?
I think it's really about like the intentionality of like where a ritual starts and ends kind of thing
Mm,
you're speaking of. So like the warm down and the cool down uh is a part of the same like storyline in a sense. So it includes everything. If you think of it sort of like outside of sports, you could think of it like, okay, um, this is where I start my career, and this
mm,
is where my career stops, right? So you kind of you have that story in mind, and then you kind of have to box it in using your
mm.
own uh, yeah, sacred ways, you could say.
Right.
Because Neptune manifests with high emotional voltage. This is the thing. So pretty images aren't gonna move you, internally. The
Mm,
gear kind of has to shift where you start going, okay, this is already mine. This is now add more responsibility. Like who relies on you when this manifests for you, right? What weight do you carry? because I think responsibility anchors the ocean in a certain way. It
Mm,
makes you understand that, okay, it feels sacred to me. Like this is not just some, it would be nice. It's not that kind of feeling. It's like
hmm
it's mine, you know? But it's not
right.
like the clingy ownership. It's more like it's mine and I'm sovereign.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's past possible.
Yeah.
Hmm. Does the Nexus have anything to add or questions for us to answer around this?
Mm. Yeah, activate them. Hold on. Okay, they're saying something around the idea that if you feel euphoric while you're imagining something, then but it's heavy when it's working, then
Hmm
you're kind of addicted to this kind of dopamine fantasy. Real manifestation, they're saying, feels calm. It feels relaxed. It feels focused.
hmm
Like that's why one of the sounds of manifestation is the word awe. Like you're letting go, right? So that's manifestation. So in a certain sense, if you feel like a monk who knows his temple is already built, uh,
hmm
that changes everything because you're not working with that fake euphoria. You're normalizing, you're grounding it into your own reality. You're like, this is normal for me. Yeah.
hmm I see. I see. Yo. Anyway, what
So
was I
one
going to
thing,
say?
one thing that I want to say around this is like I know that Kali Yuga they say is the age of density and like the ignorance is thick and stuff like this. But I've noticed when
Hmm
in this era when there's different things happening that are spiking people's emotions or they're going through like nervous breakdowns, that's actually enlightenment fuel in a certain sense, right? In
hmm
earlier ages, enlightenment took lifetimes. In
hmm
this age, you can just happen to find awakening inside a nervous breakdown. So
hmm
depression is sometimes like ancestral grief or like suppressed life force energy or a kind of a nervous system freeze that acts as an identity. So
hmm
it's not craziness to say that maybe it's my ancestors or like but what you're trying
Okay.
to do is you're trying to fix an initiation. Kali Yuga is here to initiate us, right? So yeah, just wanted to throw that in there.
So besides the fact, I'm going to couple it back to the Neptune topic. Why
Hmm.
are we in this current day and age facing so many extra spiritual challenges?
Yeah.
At least that's how it feels to me. It really feels like, on my end at least, I need to
Mhm.
almost 10x whatever my parents have done.
Yeah.
Like I need to be more skilled, more like stronger, etc., to even be able to reach what they have done.
Mm.
And it's almost I'm not complaining, but damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
I get what you mean. And it's almost like it feels overpressurized, right? It's like an
hmm
overwhelming type of energy, like everything is coming at you at once,
hmm
right? And I think that's the ripening. That's kind of like the noise needs to burn off, right? So suffering, all it is it's just a reminder, like, yo, lock in, right?
mm,
So whenever there's suffering, it's like, oh, damn, I'm not on my purpose anymore. I'm just,
yeah,
kind of wishy-washy with it. So yeah, that's the real reminder, I feel, is like, yeah, stepping into the deity yoga aspect, right? And not like an acting class, more like an initiation chamber.
right. To put on a mask is merely acting, but to actually be it is something else.
Yeah. Your nervous system can't pretend stuff.
Mm. Well, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna ask a difficult question. In
Mm.
what way is my nervous system still pretending?
Hmm. You sure we want to answer this here?
Is it worth it?
Nah, we
Nah,
could do
fuck
that
it.
privately, brother. We
Ah,
did more
sorry,
revealing
guys.
private info. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Y'all got excited for a second. Anyway, how much time do we still have? We have about 10 more minutes. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, can we relate this topic to your last video? I believe you were calling out a certain individual.
Well, I didn't call him out specifically, but I
Hmm.
watched a video where this guy was breaking down essentially all the different religions and why this is a prison planet.
Right.
And essentially, I got really perturbed by that because I thought the mindset of that keeps people so trapped and stuck.
Hmm.
And it could be true to some extent, but if we
Hmm.
start blaming the Archons, blaming the reptilians, blaming the Dark Lords, it's like take some responsibility for your sleep schedule, bro. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's time we stop externalizing power and we start internalizing it. And that was my 2 cents in terms of that.
Hmm.
Also, I'd love for him to just show his face too in his videos. But that's just I get it. Nowadays is the age of faceless content. I get it, you know.
And there's an argument to be made about both styles of content. One, two. Um,
The memes are nice though. I like them.
hey, he has great memes. That
Yeah.
being said, how does this mindset of that we're in a prison planet, how does that affect us in this current year? How can
Yeah.
we maybe use the fire force energy and or the Neptune energy to work around this?
Right. Because Neptune boosts your spiritual ego quite a lot,
Hmm.
right? So it will make you feel like I'm the one, I'm the chosen one, I'm the second coming. It's gonna
Hmm.
bring up a lot of those types of people. You're gonna see them nowadays popping up. But you have to always trust your own nervous system, right? Like, what does your heart feel when you think about their energy? Does it contract or does it expand? Right? Like there's a specific individual that I'm thinking. I'm not going to name his name, but
Hmm.
if I think of that individual, my heart automatically starts to close. And that could be maybe a trauma response or other things going on. But generally, this is an open rule that like whatever expands you is
Hmm.
truth, and whatever contracts you is falsehood. In the Hawkins scale, right, you have to go above courage to get to the higher consciousness. But it's actually above like willingness, acceptance, like those are the ones underneath, I believe. And above courage is truth, below courage is falsehood.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's wild. And that's really the theme for 2026 is courage. We've got to have courage. And it's in the word to encourage somebody, right? You're giving courage to that person.
Hmm.
Yeah.
To give courage to that person. Interesting.
Yeah. Mathis says all 5 senses, if you get goosebumps and a peaceful calm, it can be a sign it worked. If it's exciting, probably fantasy. That's very true, brother. But that's one of our adepts speaking, okay, guys? So you guys got to step up. Let's go. He also says faceless channels show the trap of being trapped themselves, not true sovereignty. If you're authentic and transparent, you'll show up because the AI age as you as yourself, as your nervous system, and aura can't lie. AI lies all the time. That's why it is Neptunian without a Saturn spine. Very true.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So even with
There's
dumbing
not
down,
that dojo aspect of Neptune, right? Like we need to bring yeah.
mhm,
Poseidon needs to harness his weapons now. Like
right?
yeah.
Because when you see Poseidon, you see him with a trident,
Right.
right?
Right. Absolutely.
So what do you do with a trident when you go diving? You go hunt, and when you go
Yeah.
hunt, you're expecting to catch fish, and a trident has three prongs, so that even
Mm.
if one
Yeah.
misses, one has to hit.
Mm. Yeah.
You, and you can only block two attacks at the same time, not three.
Right.
That's just the way it
That's very
works.
true.
It's just the way it
Very true. Yeah.
works.
Mm. Yeah, imagination is a muscle, you know what I mean? It's like, can you create a melody out of nothing?
Hmm.
Like that's godhood training, really. It's like uh creation ex nihilo says I don't know what that means, but one of the I think Janus says is saying this. And
Hmm.
writing, singing, inventing new things, creating new things. I mean, you're basically training your brain to source from within. And that's how you escape the mimicry culture. Once you're self-sourced, as Maharishi Mahesh Yogi says, self-sustainable, right?
Hmm.
Like once you're self-sustainable, once you understand that you are this choice point, it really changes the archetype. And
Mm.
remember during the writing reality days, Ryan, where we had someone step into their higher self and then they would get interviewed. Do you remember that? That was so genius of a technique. I can't believe we're bringing this back now, but like interviewing somebody from your true self, your higher self,
Hmm.
it changes things.
Hmm.
So how do you deal with stress? I would answer very differently now, and my higher self would answer very different, right? So it's like
Yes.
it makes you understand where the bridge is.
Mm.
It's like if I'm really embodying the king archetype, what does a king look like? I mean, what is his gaze? What is his breath rhythm of
Hmm.
a king? What is the vocabulary set of a king? What is the movement tempo of a king? Right? What is the center of gravity in the body of a king? Right? These are the questions, archetypal questions we should be asking, not, I'm a divine feminine goddess. Like, okay, you've said that, but now where's the proof? Where's the evidence? What is it like, actually? How does she actually move? Right? So you don't become confident, you embody the archetypes daily
Hmm.
by doing this. And this is what we do every single month. So we're on this month, Freedom February.
Hmm.
And right now, man, I'm feeling more free. Uh, Definitely something cracked open today. There's a few initiations in the morning, but then
Hmm.
whoosh, like, man, it was wild.
I
And
see.
yeah, anything coming up for you, Ryan? Let me just go check YouTube. Oh, Guido's
Um,
here. My bad, brother. I never check YouTube. He says, gotta go see you later anyway. Um, so he said, I think my astrological planet is Neptune. Is that relevant to the subject? Hey,
Possibly.
possibly. I may have missed your response to my question. Take some responsibility for your excuse schedule. He's laughing at that, right? Gotta go.
No, but it is true. It is
Yeah.
true. At
All
my
right.
best, I was extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
But what I have noticed is being, for whatever reason, combining beasting with priesting,
Yeah.
it's been the toughest challenge I have faced thus far.
Because this archetype hasn't been created yet, Ryan. You're a pioneer
Mm,
in this field. That's why it's tough. It's always tougher for the first person to do it.
yeah, I feel it. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous
It's
indeed. Because
ridiculous.
everybody is going to put you into a box and misunderstand you and all until it works, until it starts getting you results. Then they're going to start begging for you. But then it's like, bro, where were you in the beginning? Right? It's like that. That tends to be a pattern, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. How much time do we have, bro?
We have roughly exactly 1 minute.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So let's say this.
All right.
As the
Wrap up.
outro, do you understand that we're joking and serious at the same time? To the whole of the audience, understand
Yeah.
that, yeah, we're experts, but we like to goof around a lot. And
Yeah.
sometimes we will call out other content creators, etc. But that's
Yeah.
purely, well, it tends to be more, they don't necessarily agree with the ideology or whatever. But in
Yeah.
general, we like
We're
food.
spoofing a little bit, yeah. We're not like attacking people generally.
Well,
Uh
well,
Unless they want
submittedly, I
smoke.
might.
Unless
I
they want
might.
smoke and they want to mess with our trap card system. But besides that, um Yeah, guys, I think this was a great podcast. If you have any
Yeah.
more further questions about anything like Neptune headiness or anything you're experiencing, paranoia, sleepless nights, anything, just reach out to us. Hopefully, we
Mhm.
can be of assistance or support for you. And yeah, tap in. Have an incredible rest of your day.